This is Clarice Tinsley with breaking news at City Hall of a hostage situation and a gunman on the loose. Fox 4's Matt Grubbs is on the scene tweeting details to his 87 followers. Matt. Thanks for that update, Matt. Now we take you live to Fox 4's Natalie Solis inside City Hall. Natalie.
Clarice, I'm in a conference room taking a picture of myself with one of the shooting victims. I'll post it to my Facebook page immediately. Back to you.
Thanks, Natalie. I'm now joined by Bart Schimmel, who is an expert in police tactics. Oh, just got Natalie's picture. Nice. Okay, Bart, what are Dallas police doing to get this situation under control?
Well, right now we've got a recon team on site. We're determining how many shooters we're dealing with, going sector to sector, make sure every room is secure, we clear each room. But actually, while I've got you here, I'd really like to encourage the viewers to check out my band Slap Daddy on our MySpace page. Big into Journey, Foreigner, REO, a lot of Foghat. Really think you're going to dig it.
Thanks, Bart. We'll definitely check that out. I've just been notified that Fox 4's Sophia Reza has checked in through Foursquare at the Starbucks across from City Hall. Sophia.
Thanks, Clarice. I am here at Starbucks, where not only can I see a lot of police activity, but I just got a coupon for a grande macchiato. Back to you.
Sophia, thank you. Right now, let's go back to Matt Grubbs for an update.
Well, Clarice, it is now 88 followers, and I have just been retweeted. Sweet.
Thanks, Matt. Fox 4's James Rose is Skyping in from across the street. And James, I understand there is gunfire.
Yeah, Clarice, you can probably hear the gunshots all around me. I'm pinned down right now behind this vehicle.
Excuse me, James, sorry to interrupt, but why are you Skyping?
Well, Clarice, my photographer just got shot, so I'm Skyping through my iPhone.
Picture looks great.
Thanks, it's the new 4S.
Oh, is that new 720p camera?
Yeah, it's really nice. I recorded my parents' retirement party on it, and I'll send you a few clips.
Oh, I would love to see them. That would be great. Oh, sounds dangerous out there, James. What are you doing next?
I'll be updating my Facebook status to Scared Shitless.
Sounds good, James. We'll see you if you make it back. Right now, we're going to return you to Judge Judy, but you can continue to follow this developing story on myfoxdfw.com, Facebook, Twitter, MySpace, YouTube, Foursquare, GeoCities, and on our mobile app for your iPhone, Android, and by signing up for our breaking news alerts delivered directly to your email inbox or by singing Telegram. I'm Clarice Tinsley.
This has been a Fox 4 News Alert from the news station.
And we're live. Hey, welcome everybody. I'm Travis for Corner 6 Labs. Hopefully you guys got a chance to watch the little preview video we threw out there for you today. I found that today digging around the internet. It's been floating around. I'm sure I posted it on Facebook a couple times, but that's where I saw it. But our local Fox affiliate, Fox 4 News, did a social media spoof, so that's what that was. Spooshin'. God, I just cannot talk today. Yeah, you think I'd had some drinks?
Well, it is Halloween.
Wow, it's going to be one of those days already. So anyway, my name is Travis Blythe. I'm with Corner 6 Labs. So welcome to the Lab Report, everybody. It is almost Halloween. We got a couple more weeks, but maybe next week we'll do something Halloweeny-ish. Anyway, we led into the show with the social media segment. Because it is such a hot topic, and as you can see, everybody from the newscast was kind of making fun of everything from Twitter to Foursquare to posting pictures on Facebook and whatnot and relating it to what if the media had the same nonchalantness that all of us have in life as far as what we post and what we do. So it's actually pretty funny. If you didn't get a chance to see it, hopefully you guys can watch it on the replay, and it's some funny stuff. So we'll get into our show today, the Lab Report. Today it is October 21st, I believe it is today. And today our guest is Michelle Ketterman with Home Inventory Experts. We're going to talk with her and chat about exactly what her business does, what they do, what's going on. She's got some cool offers for us she's going to tell us about. We're going to talk about everything and anything under the sun. Probably we'll get into a little bit of social media since she dabbles in that a little bit. And if we have time, we're just going to, who knows what we'll talk about. You know how we like to roll here in the lab. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce my guest today. Welcome to the show, Michelle.
Thanks for having me, Travis.
You are very welcome. So tell us a little about yourself. Tell me about Home Inventory Experts.
Well, I'm very excited to tell you we changed our name. We are now the Inventory Experts.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, Lord.
We are.
Rebranding. I hear rebranding.
We started after I was robbed in '96, and somebody drove a car through our garage. They took all of the important things, like my Donkey Kong. I know, it's so embarrassing to admit that.
The Atari 26.
Exactly. But we were so freaked out about that and dealing with the trauma of our kids, and somebody was in the house, we forgot about the important things. And so I learned a very expensive lesson, which was you have to have a list. We had great insurance, but we couldn't produce a list of everything that was taken. If we had, our insurance would have reimbursed us. But we couldn't, and we didn't start remembering things until 6 and 9 months later that had been taken. Learned my lesson. I never learn a lesson. I never have to learn it more than once. So I started keeping my own list. And you know me, I have to tell everybody good news. So I started telling everybody, keep your list. And people tried, and it's a nightmare. It took me about 6 months to do mine. So people said, you know what, just come do mine. And that's literally how Home Inventory Experts, now the Inventory Experts, was born. So I go in, I take pictures, I log everything, serial numbers, model numbers in a home, and now we also do businesses, and I love it.
Hey, and that's awesome. And I think your first great move was moving out of the crime-ridden Albuquerque into a great city like Dallas.
My friends on Facebook are going to watch this, so I'll give a shout out to the 505.
Albuquerque, as we call it.
Golly, I'm out of the loop.
But no, that's a good thing, because I know that I've been robbed a couple times due to leaving my garage door open. And so I do know what it's like to go through to think you've only lost a couple of things and then there be more. And I've had friends that have been broken into, and it is hard when you look at the insurance adjuster and you say, they ask you, what was missing, and you're like, well, my whole CD collection. And they're like, well, how many did you have? And you're like, I had about 200. And they're like, well, what's the value on that? And can you name? You're like, well, right. Like, I'm going to be able to tell you all 200 CDs or now DVDs, everybody's got a ton of DVDs and stuff. So I could see where cataloging that stuff and actually going, yeah, this is what I have, would make a huge difference.
We had a fire in 2001, wasn't it, dear? And we had to go through, he had all his tools and everything. It was a monster. But they will pay for everything if you could show them.
Yeah.
Sure. And it's not just robberies and fires. It's death. It's divorce. It's when people have come to me now and said, do my home inventory, do a business plan, and they've been able to get money for a new business. Which, is that the coolest? Isn't that
that's
awesome?
Yeah. So tell us a little bit more about what you. I know there's more involved than just doing the inventory, but tell these viewers, because we have about 3 of them now, and they are probably really going to be interested in me calling you up. Okay. Is your business limited to Dallas right now? Will you get on a plane and fly out to California, and if they pay for it?
Well, that answer is absolutely positively yes.
See? I'm hooking up the 2 viewers
absolutely.
We have. We dropped one during the 30 seconds.
They'll be
there.
back on.
But no, you actually do more than just hand over a piece of paper, right? Tell me about the cool stuff you get when you inventory me.
And you have to tell me when I've done enough, because I love what I do, so I tend to go on and on. There's reports. There's by inventory. There's inventory by category and also by room. Those are completely dependent on what kind of categories you have. I just did a huge construction company. They obviously had different categories than, say, your home would. Then there's also by room. And then there's complete photos. The photos aren't just basic photos. They're extremely high res. So you get all these printed out. You also get them on 2 DVDs. So you can send one to, say, your cousin in Louisville, Kentucky. So it's off-site in case the house burns down. And then you can also give one to your insurance agent or keep it in your safe deposit box.
And it's in a nice package, too. It's the packaging. That's what really, sold me. I'm all about presentation. So
it is nice.
When you're making it nice and easy, and I can open something up, and I've got pages and DVDs or CDs or whatever it is that I have to back everything up, that I can put in a safe deposit box or in my, fireproof box or whatever it is I have in my house. And that's a good thing.
Well, and what's really neat is I have such high-powered digital equipment that you can take. I took a drawer of DVDs. There were about 400 in there. CDs. And I took a picture of it, and you can enlarge it to 600% and read every single CD title.
Wow, that's awesome.
That's awesome technology.
That is. That's.
Yeah.
So, I guess, is there any home too small or any home too big, or does that matter?
No.
So when
No.
what are the questions? What are the questions you ask? Like when you do a consult and people say, I want you to come. What are some of the typical questions you ask them before you get started?
Usually, we do a quote in their home, and here's the things that we ask. Do you have guns? Do you have collections? Do you have guns? Do you have collections? I go through everything except the nightstand. So all of your kitchen cabinets, all your drawers, there's evidence of that. Because even if you have a couple George Foremans in a crock pot, that adds up. So basically people say, well, what do you do? How long is it going to take? People think, especially people that have tried to do their own, they think it's going to take hours and hours and weeks and weeks. I did an 11,000 square foot house. I was in the house for 5.5 hours. And I inventoried everything in the house, everything on the property, including the number of ducks that they had because they were by the lake. All the structural and safety.
Inventory their ducks?
I did inventory the geese, absolutely.
That's awesome.
Here's the question people
Were
ask
you able
me.
to tell the sex?
I could have, but that's an extra fee.
Well, ducks are easy. The males have a blue stripe and the females are all brown.
Wow. Now I know who to call as my duck consultant.
I have a pond, I have a pond. So wait a minute, you don't do nightstands?
Nightstands.
Is that because you're afraid what you're
are-
going to find? Like if you did Jimmy's nightstand?
Well, he had that twinkle in his eye. I wouldn't go near that nightstand.
Well, those really bad radio guys, what's in their nightstand. You never know what you're going to find.
But I do, and
depending on who their guest was that week.
and I let people know. I let people know this is what to expect. But people think it's going to take.
You could have crystal. I mean, my parents have a lot of antiques, and you got
Exactly.
every plate. And
Well, you know what happened to my dad's wife's aunt, if you can follow that train. She had her home remodeled. Her husband passed away a few years ago. She had her home remodeled. 2 weeks after they remodeled the home, 2 weeks after they were finished, somebody broke in and stole all the antique guns. And the only thing she knew was there was a handgun about this big. She had no idea. And it's just a shame. Everybody needs an inventory. And I also give classes on how to do your own. So just call me and I'll walk you through how to do your own.
What deals do you have running right now? You got any specials going on for all of our listeners out there? Let's give them a show exclusive deal.
I do have a show exclusive deal just for Travis Blythe friends.
There you go. Come on, friends. Let's hear from you. Watch, look at all these people are my best friends now. I got all these BFFs coming out of the woodwork.
Your followers are going to double, right? It's 25 cents a square foot, and when all the Christmas decorations, the holiday decorations are up, I'll come back and I'll add those just as a complimentary Christmas gift only to Travis Blythe friends.
Wow, that is an awesome deal because I knew what your previous deal was, which I was going to hit up on, but that's even better. So I am going to be in touch because with the everything coming up with moving, I had a huge garage sale and got rid of a bunch of crap I didn't need. So definitely once I get settled again, we'll be coming in and inventory and everything because I do have some valuables that I definitely don't want to have stolen. And you're right, just taking the time to do it myself because I am a kind of a creative guy and I've got video cameras and I've got high resolution cameras, but I think once I did my gun collection, I was exhausted. I was writing the serial numbers down. I'm like, man, I couldn't imagine doing every single thing in the house.
Well, and what happens when you do your own stuff is you just get caught up in the memories of it, and remember this, and it just goes on and on.
Do you have a question?
Well, actually, I kind of want to give a testimonial to you. I've never used your service. Well, first of all, my heart goes out to you for your Donkey Kong machine because I have one, and I would be devastated if someone stole it.
It was the original NES.
Yes. Oh, no, I have the original one. Second of all, I used to be the director of sales and marketing for Bib & Tucker's The Dry Cleaner, and a couple of years ago in Uptown, our largest store burned down. That was about 2,000 or 3,000 customers of clothes. Luckily, Bib & Tucker's barcodes everything that comes in there, and it's so detailed. I could pull up Travis Blythe's account and say he had a black long sleeve Ralph Lauren shirt size large. It's that detailed. So